Hello, first-class listeners. Welcome to the Train Stop Podcast. I am your host, Anastasios Klimos, a.k.a. The Greek Freak. I'm joined today by Isaiah Joyner. Isaiah, welcome back to the show. Oh, no.
That's a picture.
Oh, no.
That's the boy. Look at him, 51.
51.
Everyone knows 51 is the number to have in basketball. Also joining us, we got Jack Levanto. Jack, welcome back to the show.
That's good.
We also got Emir Jamison. Emir showing off the tats. How we doing, buddy?
What's up, bro?
And then we got a random guy from Texas. His name, I think, is Patrick.
How's it
going, Patrick?
Okay, it's Patrick Casady.
Shout out the Bruins.
Pat Casady.
Shout out the Baylor Bears, the best basketball team in the country.
Well, basketball's canceled, Patrick, so we don't know that for sure.
Shout out Texas. Shout out Connecticut. Love them both. We here.
Welcome to the Train Stop Podcast. We got the Culture Crew back in, well, not really in studio, but we're here. We're ready to party. We had a great show in store for you. We're not talking only sports today. We're doing a little bit of everything. It's the Culture Crew. We're talking culture. We're talking coronavirus, the quarantine, how it's affected us all, how it's affected society. No more. Oh, now we're back to Skip. To the
Skip.
We're talking everything. We're also going to be talking some of the shows we've been watching, some things we've been doing to keep busy during the quarantine. Before we get into the main topics, the main conversation, anyone want to add anything? Any shout-outs?
Oh, shout out. This just happened. Shout out Andy Dalton to the Cowboys. Some big
not
news.
A Patriot, so that's good.
Not a Patriot.
That's good news.
Yeah, true. Jarrett Stidham, former Baylor Bear, going to lead us to glory. Sick and Bears.
See, that's the one thing. That's really the only reason I'm not rooting for him is because I know if he does good, we'll never hear the end of it. It's gonna be the Baylor Bears produced the Patriots winning quarterback, and it's like no.
It's true. Josh Gordon first, Jarrett Stidham next.
Yeah, but Jarrett Stidham, he's an Auburn guy, right? That's what we're.
I mean, is he? Because his wife is Mrs. Kennedy Brown, All-American soccer player for the Baylor Bears. So I don't know.
But
is he an Auburn Tiger? Is he? 'Cause he chose Baylor first.
But he did rise to fame.
And then he chose to leave Baylor.
I mean, sure, he chose to leave, but that's because his coach wasn't there because he's an asshole. But that's
because the entire football program was raping people. But
okay, not the entire program, but we don't talk about that.
What if we want to talk about it?
That's 2016. We're in 2020.
4 years.
Come on.
That's a whole presidential cycle.
A whole presidential cycle. That's a whole Olympic cycle. We're better than that.
Too soon.
Speaking of the coronavirus.
Let's talk about it. We're now roughly, what is it, like 6 weeks now into quarantine?
7 weeks.
7? Yeah.
7 weeks.
Yeah, it's almost 2 months now.
About 7 weeks. Isaiah,
Yeah,
is that a church cathedral, the ceiling, or is that the cells of someone's, the cells?
Mitochondria?
Mitochondria?
The powerhouse of the cell.
The powerhouse of the cell. Yep.
Yeah, so we're all going on like 7 weeks now. We're living in a new world, really. I mean,
for real.
This is something. Listen, the one cool thing, and Jack, I think you could appreciate this the most, being a teacher, a history teacher specifically, that we're living through history.
Yeah,
that's something I've made sure to tell people. I know Amir's heard me say this. My girlfriend's heard me say this a couple times. But as terrible as the time that we're going through, how tough it is right now for everybody, it's very important to remember that we are going through a moment in history. This is a moment that, 50 years from now, maybe even sooner, will be in textbooks. We'll be looking at this. You'll be teaching this to students. People will be tested on this. Your kids are going to ask you about this subject in school, and you're going to be like, I lived through that. That didn't happen in the coronavirus. It's going to be some crazy stuff.
Also, it keeps us better prepared because now you realize how uncautious about germs and stuff that we actually were. Like obviously, I'm not going to wear a mask the rest of my life, but like, you know how many people don't? I mean, I do, but you know how many people don't wash their hands, and now they started washing their hands.
Crazy. That's the most important thing. Just wash your hands, guys.
Yeah, like
Wash your hands. Smart.
Y'all got it right.
Wash your hands. It's easy.
I do want to share a story though.
Seconds.
It actually happened yesterday at the restaurant. I have a little bit of scratchy throat. It's not coronavirus. Don't worry about it.
Shout out Great Oak.
Shout out Great Oak.
Shout out Great Oak.
We had a guy come in, had to be, based on the time frame that he told me, had to be in his 80s, maybe 90s. And I asked him how he's doing. You know, as I ask every customer, how you doing with all this? How you hang? Especially because he's older, obviously. I'm asking, you staying safe? How's it going? No mask on, no gloves. And basically he said the most savage thing. He goes, son, let me tell you something. I have been prepared for this since 1942. Okay? We went through a couple of things similar to this during World War II when we were quarantined in our homes because we thought we were going to get bombed. We also went through this in the 50s. He goes, so it's a little bit different with the virus, but I've been through quarantine, so I'm ready for it. I'm prepared.
You know about that. You know about that. He probably lived in the Spanish flu also.
But it makes me – but again, it kind of hammers home that idea of like 50 years from now, we're going to tell our offspring or in the future generations offspring, a little vocab word there for you, Patrick.
I see you.
That we're living through a time in history. Like people are going to be asking us for years and years, what was it like to live during the COVID-19 crisis?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not
kind
wrong.
Of crazy to think about.
Crazy. You got to make the most of it. It's not a fun
thing to be like. That's the only kind of bright side. There are some positives, which we'll get into.
I don't know.
Some positives.
Some positives
is that the people that are working to still stay.
We've been playing a lot of video games. My hand-eye coordination.
Slaying video games.
I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you guys have had the same thing, but my reflexes have sharpened. I can catch things out of midair so much quicker.
We'll be the judge of that, Tassos.
I don't know.
I feel like Spider-Man. This morning, I dropped my phone. I real quick went down and got it. I was like, oh, shit. Like, I could never do that before. How quick I moved. Reflexes.
All right, Tassos, hit us with your quarantine update. Beforehand. What you been up to for 7 weeks?
What have I been up to for 7 weeks? Running the restaurant, honestly. Luckily, thank God, we've been able to stay open. In Connecticut, obviously, we can't do sit-in, but we can do takeout. So, thankfully, unlike a lot of people who unfortunately have lost their jobs and their businesses during this, we've been able to stay open.
True.
Business is down. It's not the best situation. We are losing money. It's not, like I said, it's not ideal, but, it's better than being shut down and not making anything. So at least we're still alive, we're still afloat. So, I mean, that's what you got to be thankful for. That's what I tell my customers. Like, you got to be thankful for what you got. Like, obviously, would I like to be open completely? Obviously. Would I like to be able to go out and do whatever I want and not have to worry about social distancing? Obviously. But you got to be thankful for what we got.
Absolutely.
You're right.
We're still open, by the way. If you guys want to come in for takeout, all the people listening.
Look, I might need a spaghetti pizza.
Spaghetti pizza.
Bro, Patrick, I need more grinders in my life.
Patrick, when will you be attending?
Well, I was supposed to come up there in June, but
you guys do Uber Eats? You can send it down to
Texas. You want to Uber Eats?
We do Grubhub and we do DoorDash. We have those two.
Ooh, Grubhub me. I'll hit it. I'll hit that $150 delivery fee.
But Patrick, I actually want to throw this to you, Patrick, because we're all still in the same state, so we all kind of know how the rules are. But you're living in Texas.
Nah, it's completely different. It's completely different. So, yeah, we quarantined around the same time, and then the governor of Texas a couple days ago had the conference, and we're slowly reopening right now. Actually, I mean, Texas has been hit a lot softer than a lot of other states, so like Connecticut, New York, a bunch of those states up there. So there's a lot less cases, and we're opening up slowly. So like businesses were allowed to, a lot of businesses were allowed to open to like 25% capacity yesterday. And they're slowly.
Are your guys' gyms open down there?
I think so. I haven't been though. So.
All right, Pat, I have a question for you. So for those of us who have been living under a rock and haven't been paying any sort of attention, the Texas governor, or it may not have been the governor, but one of the politicians from Texas came out and made a statement a couple weeks ago. And he recommended
political as fuck.
He recommended that all the old people and the grandparents go out and sacrifice to keep the economy going.
All right.
I know
what you're
talking about. It wasn't that crap.
That's a shithead.
it wasn't that crass, but I know what you're talking about. That's not what he said, but that's all right. I mean, I'm not a Governor Abbott supporter per se, but what he
I
said
just wanted to know the Texas reaction to that statement.
Well, like, I mean, this is a red state, so like people were like all gung ho saying we have to reopen the economy. Am I on that side? Not really. I mean, I think we have to throw caution to the wind. Not throw caution to the wind. The opposite of that. We have to be a little bit more cautious than what he wants to do. But I think if we responsibly reopen the state, then we can make it work. Just because we've been hit softer than other states. But yeah, I mean, what he said probably wasn't the smartest thing to say, because he was like, we have to reopen the economy and that'll put old people at risk, but it's a necessity we have to take. That's basically what he said. I don't really agree with it, but that's whatever. I don't really vote in Texas, so like, it's not up to me.
What do you guys think about that, though? What do you guys think about? What's your position on the reopening thing? Because I'll be honest.
My position is
should reopen.
I don't either. So I'm on the same side.
I was talking to my dad this morning, and I told him, I said, if we were given the option on May 20th to reopen the dining room, I don't think we would. I think we'd still stay closed for a while longer. Listen, you don't think I wish we were open for full business and, we had all the regular customers and making the kind of money we usually do? Of course, we're taking a hit financially, but what's worse? And that's one of my waitresses actually said this. What's trying to think the right wording of it. What good is money if you're lying in a box?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's true. Like, why would you
cremated?
Why would you? Well, there you go.
You're an urn.
What good is money when you're a pile of ashes? Same thing.
Yeah, when you're in an urn.
Yeah, but like, it's true. I mean, honestly, like, I get it, and I wish we could reopen sooner. But at the same time, not only for me, but we have a lot of older customers. I don't want people to come in and then all of a sudden they get sick eating at my place because another customer sitting down has the virus and it spreads. I just think,
or you get sick. What about you?
I get sick, or my family gets sick. Exactly. Like, it's just, to me, it's not worth it. We still don't know. There's no vaccine. We're not close to a vaccine. We still don't know everything there is to know about this thing. There's rumors that we haven't even been hit by the worst of it yet. To me, I could go. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some other people, and I'm more fortunate, like I said, that we're still open. But some people are more desperate.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like, I just feel like people should suffer. Listen, we're all suffering, but we just got to suck it up and just go with it. Like, I don't know. Like, the people I can't stand are the ones who are like, why is this happening? I want to go out. I want to, like, you don't think we all want to go look at my hair? You don't think I want to go get a haircut?
Yeah,
you think I want to go watch? Black Widow is supposed to come out this weekend. You don't think I wanted to go to the movies? We're all, like I said, we're all losing the little things. I haven't seen my friends. This is the first time we've gotten to interact in a while. I mean, it's not how I want it to be, but you got to suffer through it.
True.
Me and Jack went from every single Friday to I haven't seen him. I ran into him at Stop and Shop like 2 weeks ago, and that was like, I seen Jesus. Like, we were, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was kumbaya moment.
I was in my car and I look up and I see this unidentifiable black person. And I was like,
unidentifiable. You could spot me from
you identified him,
because he had the mask on, he had a hoodie on. I won't say the hoodie's pulled up.
I was prepared for y'all.
But he had gloves on. I recognized him because I looked up and I was like, man, that dude looks mad familiar, because I recognized Amir's build, and I recognized the hoodie he was wearing because he got it when we used to work together. And I was like, oh shit! And then I yelled out at him. And he looked at me at first, and he gave me this weird-ass look. And I was like, did I just yell at this random black person?
Because I don't do well to random people just being like, yo. I'm like,
you didn't even yell his name, or did you just yell?
No, he just said, yo.
Yo.
Oh, yeah.
So now
you
I'm
thumb
like,
up,
right,
Patrick?
I got to kill somebody, or like, But
good job, Jack.
It was my friend.
My friend.
It was my dog.
It was my long-lost friend.
And the
my boy,
funniest thing is,
Blue.
The funniest thing is that me and Amir live walking distance from each other. Like, we could walk to each other's houses.
Every morning. I piss excellence. Sorry, I just watched that movie. I just want to drop that.
That's a great movie. We're getting to that. We're getting to that part.
Yeah. You're right.
Isaiah, what you been up to? 7 weeks. MIA.
7 weeks.
Even though you've been MIA way longer.
I got to put out multiple missing persons reports, and they still came back with nothing.
So that's new.
Off the grid completely.
It's off. Yeah, I guess so. No, it's just funny that you hear all these people talking about how they can't stand the lockdown and quarantine and social distancing. That's just my way of life.
Isaiah social been like distancing. That for 6 months.
Yeah, that's what
I've been like that for a minute, maybe a minute. But yeah, no. So it's I do what I can within my own capacity to just social distance myself 6 feet from everybody.
That's how he lives his life normally, by the way.
How's everything with Rach, Jack?
What's up?
Yeah.
How's everything with Rach?
I haven't seen, same thing everybody's dealing with. I haven't seen my girlfriend in 7 weeks at this point. It's tough. Same thing, like, I haven't seen my friends. I haven't seen my girlfriend. That's been tough. She's doing all right, to my knowledge. She's, stir crazy like the rest of us are. Unfortunately, she's not as, doesn't have the same benefit as the rest of us is getting along with our families as well as I know we do. So she's kind of really ready to get out, have some social distancing from her family.
Tensions get high when you're locked in with people for this. That's
why,
that'll
do a lot to you.
I gotta say, I'm lucky to be able to work at the restaurant because that kind of is my getting out of home time. Like I spend all day there. I talk to people. Like obviously we put plexiglass up across basically the whole
to block
us off. So I mean we're safe. We're keeping our distance. We keep one person in the building at a time. But like at least I get that interaction. The first week of quarantine I actually didn't work at all because we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know the hours. So I actually didn't work really the first week. We had other people working. Some people left obviously because of fear for the virus, so we have less workers now. But in the beginning we had too many workers and not enough hours. So I actually took the week off to give more hours away. And honestly, I was going crazy just that 1 week, not having contact with people. Like, so at least I get the restaurant where I talk to people every day. A little bit more interaction.
That's true. It's actually
safe interaction, but more interaction.
It's true. It's actually tough for you, Tassos, because I know for myself and probably Patrick in that because we're still in college classes, and I don't know as much about Isaiah because I don't know how well Three Rivers handled this situation. But at 2 4-year accredited universities, I know that every week I was still getting person-to-person interaction over collaborate meetings with between teachers and students, and so unlike you who was really stuck with just your people in your house and maybe the odd time you go to the restaurant. Obviously you didn't during the first week, but I was actually kind of lucky in that I still had classes this last semester and I got to see people for a little bit.
See, I'm actually thinking, like I've been telling people this, I think I'm the lucky one in the respect that I don't think I could do online classes. I'm being honest. Like I never took online classes during school. It's not that it's not like I can't learn that way. It's just for me, like when I'm at school, like same thing when I'm at work. When I'm at work, my mindset changes. Like I'm
the same way.
When I was going to school, like when I walked in the library, I was like a machine getting stuff done. If I did homework at my own house, forget it. It takes 10 times longer.
I will say that as a student during this quarantine, and combined with the fact that I'm a graduating senior this semester, my grades have slipped this semester. They are not what they have been the last couple of semesters.
Not a quarantine thing, though. I think it's just a senior thing.
I think it's a combination of both because exactly what you're saying, there's a huge difference between doing schoolwork at school and trying to do school at home. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm not somebody who's great at getting work done while I'm at home.
I get that.
Like I said, that's what I see. Like my sister, I see other people who are doing it. They tell like their experiences with it. And I'm just like, I don't think. Like I said, I could do it, obviously, but I don't think I get the grades I would normally get, and I don't think I'd be able to be as good of a student. I was a pretty good student, not going to humble brag. I was a pretty good student during college and stuff, but like honestly, especially being a graduating senior, like if this was my last semester, mixed senioritis with the homeschooling, forget it. I don't know. how that would go for me personally. I'm being honest. My grades would have been bad. That's the honest truth. I don't think I would have been able to.
My worst semester. Oh, finish, Patrick?
All right, I'll just throw in my experience because I'm not taking class. I didn't take classes this semester. I had an accounting internship. Shout out BKD. If you ever need a middle market accounting firm, I got you. But so during like regular work hours, going to the office, grind out, do my work, like I feel like I was a pretty good employee. But when it came to working from home for 6 weeks in a row, like it was so much more difficult to get my work done just because I would be so distracted and there was just not as much motivation to like go 110%, 100% of the time. So like it's just, I get that. It's just there's not the same motivation you have as when you're able to go to class and experience the whole thing.
Yeah,
you're going crazy.
I feel you.
I'm just trying to set it up.
I noticed. I'm like, what is he doing? And all of a sudden, I kept seeing the thing. Trying to set it up.
You got it, bro.
For those of us on the pod who don't know, I work as a paraprofessional, and working during this time, along with going to school being weird, is that I also work in a school, and so that has been really weird, especially since I'm not a full-time. I'm not a teacher. I'm just a paraprofessional. So a lot of the times, my work was just simply making sure that students were not acting a fool. And so now I can't make sure my students aren't acting a fool because I'm not with them.
Yeah.
Well, they're not acting a fool. They're definitely in the house.
It's definitely been weird because a lot of my expectations are not as clear as they once were for what they were looking for me to do.
Yeah, I get that.
That's tough. Like I said, listen, there's a lot of people I think you got to applaud during this time. Obviously, the most obvious one, doctors, nurses, all those kind of things. You got to applaud them. Patrick, hit the button. Hit the button.
You're right. Accountants also.
Yep. Would you say don't put accountants in the same class as that, but sure.
I mean, no, it's like first responders, accountants.
It's like first responders, teachers,
like
essential workers, accountants.
It's busy season right here. It's busy season.
I'm just saying, I think it goes, like I said, nurses and doctors, obviously, but I think teachers, honestly, because they got to learn on the fly, how to do this. Parents, too, honestly, parents of younger kids. Because think about it, in the younger grades, a lot of the time, it's the parents who are trying to push the kids through, help them out with the homeschooling. Obviously, they have the meetings and stuff, but I don't know. Like I said, this is unprecedented. So all the people who have to deal with all this stuff, not having a protocol how to follow it, I applaud you. Like I said, even restaurant people, like this is something it took us weeks to figure out a system to get people in and out of the building. It's tough it's an unprecedented time, but people applaud everyone. Little clap for everybody who's persevering.
Restaurants are definitely essential.
Big facts.
You're right.
Pat, that's the one I was looking for. You gave me the thumbs up. I wanted the clap.
I got you. You're right.
I gotta order some Great Oak soon because I've been just going to drive-thru lately when I want one.
Me too.
It's been good. It's been good.
I'll stop by sometimes.
I don't know if you guys have noticed this though. People are starting to get antsy. People are starting to get antsy and a little bit bitter.
Oh, trust me, first-hand experience. I know. Trust me.
We have actually had a couple incidents now where I've had to go outside and tell people to leave because they're causing problems outside. So basically, the setup is we let one person at a time. We have the plexiglass covering the counter, and we let one person at a time. And if your food's not ready, you go out inside. We have the stairs up. Underneath the awnings, you have a little area. Mm-hmm. And so we have people wait there, and then I run the food out either there or their cars. On Fridays obviously are a busier day. We've had a lot of people who don't want to go wait in the car because they think, I'm not going to be able to find them, which I don't mind. And they wait there, but there's been a lot of chaos because people cut the line. And it's not necessarily their fault. They just don't know. This is all new for everybody. It's people who haven't been coming, who just happen to come that day, may they don't know what's going on. So, but apparently I've had, just in the last 2 weeks, I've had 10 or 11 customers complain that they were being harassed outside the building by other people. And I've had to tell 4 people to leave the premises because of how they were acting. Which is sad. It's sad that I'm only 22 and I'm telling like 50-year-old. Like, one was a 50-year-old lady. And I basically like scold her.
Yeah.
And that's just, to me, that's just crazy.
Pretty wild, man. But Tassos, can you tell me what is one of the most important things that you need to do during this quarantine?
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Baby.
Wash your hands. What's second most more important?
Just be a nice human being to each other, I guess. That to me, that's
wear a mask.
Well, that wear a mask too. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things we can do during this.
True.
To be safe.
Always gotta make sure you're being a good person. Make sure
don't
that
be
you're
greedy at the
washing your
store
hands.
and try to grab 50 things.
Just be a good person, man.
Bro, I don't know. 50 bag of Takis. I might need that.
Listen,
I might need
all right,
that.
you can't go wrong with that. But look,
You can't.
I just had a bag. I just had a bag for lunch
too.
today.
You had a bag of Takis?
Yeah, those shits are fire.
Had some rice and beans and stuff during lunch. A little bag of Takis on the side. Yeah,
you got that Mexican dinner. I see you. I see
you. Yeah, like I said, it's been interesting seeing. Like I said, you really do get like half people who are very nice and very like understanding. I had one person yesterday who on the phone was like, "Take your time." You know, I told him because we were busy. It's going to take like 35, 40 minutes he had a big order, and he was like, "Take your time, no worries." 5 phone calls later, I said it was going to take 20 minutes for a pizza. I don't want it. That's ridiculous. I don't want it.
Crazy.
That's your prerogative.
That's kind of what I'm getting. It's like, it's
yeah,
sad.
it's a hit or miss, to be honest with you.
But it's like you got nothing but time, bro.
Exactly. Where are you gonna go?
Especially
Where
the
are
ones
you gonna go?
Especially the ones.
You got a date? You got a place to be?
You gonna go to the gym? I don't think so. You eating a pizza and it's quarantine.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like I said, and I kind of excuse some people because I know, like, I'm the same way. Like, I'm pissed off too. But like, there's a way to handle it. Like, no matter what, no matter how upset I am with obviously this whole situation, I'm not going out to places and taking out on people.
I guess that
did nothing to you. Stupid.
Baylor basketball was supposed to win a national championship, but you don't see me going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and going to the Final Four. You don't see me doing that. I'm still home. I'm bitter, but I'm home.
LeBron was supposed to win his.
You gotta stay at home.
No, that's where I pump the brakes.
LeBron was supposed to get
Kemba Walker from Bronx, New York, and the University of Connecticut was going to win his first ring.
Listen, they wouldn't even beat the second seed in that conference. Wait, what were they?
We were gonna be the second seed, boy.
All right. Speaking of some entertainment that we're missing, what about some entertainment that we're receiving?
Wait.
Have any of you guys seen?
Is that like 8 minutes?
That's why I'm trying to transition, homie.
No, we'll wait 8 minutes and then we can feed into it.
If you guys don't know, the listeners, we're doing this on Zoom.
No, we'll cut this.
No, it's fine. Listen, we gotta be honest with the people.
You're right.
Every 40 minutes, we gotta like restart the chat. Obviously, in editing, you're not gonna see that. It's gonna be one continuous thing. But
yeah,
I was trying to be low key about it and just text it, but we didn't succeed in that. But
we keep it 100 here.
Real quick.
Okay.
How has your guys' lives been affected without sports? Because it's weird. It's actually becoming normal.
Listen, look.
That's the scary part.
What I've been doing is just watching everything from that I haven't been watching. Like I've watched Tim Duncan highlights. That's how you know it's bad.
Oh, did you watch him tip the pot over? That's my favorite highlight.
No.
Shout out Foot Locker.
It is crazy.
I'm just so excited.
True.
The first 2-3 weeks of this thing with no sports was like hell on earth. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but now I don't even think about it now.
It's scary. It's very scary.
I don't think about not being able to watch sports. I just think about it coming back.
Yeah,
I'm just like awaiting that day. I can't wait. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm excited to watch NASCAR in 2 weeks. I'm excited to watch cars go around and around for 2.5 hours.
To take a left turn.
I'm stoked. Because I couldn't do anything. So me and my roommate, so this is my quarantine situation. I'm in Waco, Texas. Shout out Dubtown. And I'm holed up with my roommates, a couple other people. We went out to play football yesterday. And we had people watch us play football. That's how bad people want to watch live sports. We had
that's bad.
For a 2-on-2
You want to watch Patrick play football?
Exactly.
I knew he was
you want to watch
6 foot
played football
white boy 180-pound
if I went
Patrick
down there,
Casady play football, you got a problem.
True.
But I will stop and go. It's all good.
I will say that on the sports transition, I'm lucky in that I really like esports. And esports have been doing fine. They've still been able to keep it going. So my sportsless transition has been a lot easier because even though I haven't been able to watch basketball, I haven't been able to watch baseball, but I was able to watch some esports that had just finished up not too long ago.
Do you see this right now? This is from not gambling for 2 months.
I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my hands.
My hands. I have not gambled in 2 months.
That's probably a good thing, homie.
I have saved a good amount of money. I have a lot of money saved up, but I missed the thrill of the.
I bet the count that David Freese hit the walk-off home run on in the 2011 World Series Game 6. That's been my sports gambling over the past 6 weeks.
I miss it. I miss it so much.
I get that.
March
I don't
Madness
sports gamble,
too.
but I understand. I mean, that was prime
happened
time.
right.
Don't get me started with March Madness. Not making a bracket.
It was literally
first
March
time
Madness.
in 13 years. Come on.
Since I
That's
knew
my
how to
favorite
make a
time
bracket.
of year.
It's sad. It happened the worst time. Like, listen, I know you can't pick a time for a tragedy, but couldn't have been the summer after the playoffs.
June.
Yeah, exactly. Dog days of summer when there's nothing on to watch anyways. When it's nice enough, you can just quarantine in the summer is not too bad because you can just go outside in your own backyard and sunbathe, or if you have a pool, go in the pool. But like you did it. You took away the NBA playoffs. You took away the NHL playoffs.
We're getting them back. We're getting them back. But like some of those,
I don't think so.
March Madness. No, we will.
I don't think we are.
Bro, they're gonna play at Disney World. We're fine.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, NBA is literally gonna play at Disney World, and I'm fine.
Yeah, big fact. Yeah, but like, come on, we couldn't have got this in August when it's just the dog days of baseball.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's just it.
Well, then if we got it in August, we don't get NFL. We don't get college football.
June is perfect because June through August, you're fine. You just miss baseball, and like I said, baseball. I love it, but I would sacrifice baseball if it meant March Madness.
I'd rather have if I was to get the Stanley Cup playoffs, I would not miss any other sport. That's all I need.
Oh really?
Yeah, Stanley Cup playoffs was another big loss.
That's the best 2 months of the year. March.
It is, and
March
they took
through
it
like
away from us. The Masters
March through June.
The Masters are now in the fall.
That's gonna be wild.
What is the world coming to? The Masters in the fall?
It's crazy.
Bro, don't sleep on the Masters. Green jacket, baby.
Madness. The one positive of sports being canceled, Amir, you might want to close your ears on this one. LeBron's not getting a ring.
LeBron's getting a ring.
First of all,
listen, I got to find the positives in this tragedy, and the positive is that LeBron James
still continuing the season.
I actually don't think they will.
And by you saying that, you kind of confirmed that if they did continue, that he would have won a ring. So
no, I don't think he actually would have. I'm just saying we'll never know.
You said the positive of this happening is that LeBron doesn't get a ring. So
because it guarantees there's no way and there's no chance.
But you knew though that he was going to win one.
No, listen. There's a chance he could have, but with being canceled, there's a 0% chance. Zero.
No, that's not that high. But you knew he would have won.
I don't think
he would.
Now we don't have to have that debate or have to watch that.
If you say that the Baylor Bears would have won the championship.
No, I've talked about that 5 times. I'm still bitter. That's all right. No, I'm saying this is about the NBA. I'm interested to see when they do come back because I think they will come back. I think they'll come back in like July.
I do too. I have faith.
I don't think so.
They will.
I don't think so.
I think they'll find a way. I mean, if NASCAR can come back, the NBA can come back. But that's besides the point.
We're almost out.
I want to see how well each team comes back. Like, I want to see the dynamic.
That's why I don't think it's going to happen.
Like